Hello, greetings. So this is a question I at times get asked when it comes to being a Gorean free woman, and that is that I am also Goth. And how can one combine the two? Because well, I do know quite a few who are Goths that are also Gorean. Most of them, if female, identify as slaves, and I also know a few free men. But with free women, there is this idea that a Gorean free woman have to dress extremely conservatively because within the books, of course, they basically wear a bias. They cover their face, they cover absolutely everything but their eyes and their hands. And there are reasons for this within the context of the books. However, we do not live on Gore, meaning that we do not have to dress as they do in the books. Of course, if you want to do something about it, basically dress that way, I'm not going to stop you. But it doesn't mean we have to do that to be Gorean. Now, however, quite a few people then translate what the free women wear within the books into if you're going to translate that to our world, then that means that a Gorean free woman have to dress extremely conservatively. And how can you then combine that with being goth? Well, first of all, and I'm gonna address this generally first, and then some when it comes to how I dress, because there's a lot of things that I wear that clearly a free woman of Gore would not be wearing that. This, among other things, not so much. But here's the thing. First of all, there's lots of ways to dress extremely conservatively and be goth. Now, while I like to show a bit of cleavage and wear chains and chokers, that there's no uniform. This is what you have to wear to be goth. While I'm sure there's some goths that want to do that, because there's just as many goths that want to tell you that if you don't conform exactly to their specifications, then you're not goth enough. For example, those that complain that since I don't use makeup, I'm not goth, because it's clearly in how much paint you have on your face. And there's just as many that do that as there are Goreans that scream that, oh, you don't interpret the books exactly as I do, you're not Gorean. Rah! So yeah. But yes, there's so many ways to dress goth. There's no uniform for this. And in fact, the whole lifestyle came out of punk. The point is to be an individual. So you have to find the way that it works for you. And for example, Victorian goth, lots of that is very conservative. It does not show a lot of skin. But I mean, you have, for example, corporate goth, which is basically a style that came out of, well, most goths have work. So it's basically a very professional way to dress that incorporates goth fashion. That, for example, can be a business suit, but it's often then a little bit stylized. You might have a few Gothic details on a tie pin, and yes, women can use ties too, or a little brooch, and so then just Google corporate goth, and you can get some ideas there. That's a very conservative way to dress, and even with more casual goth, like I would probably fit into that category because I generally look fairly normal. I mean, it's an alternative fashion, but I mean, I'm not one of those that goes extremely far, not that for everyday wear at least, because I don't have time for that. But even with that, I mean, you don't have to show a lot of skin, you don't have to wear chokers, you can wear whatever you feel is appropriate for you. So there's definitely no problem adjusting being goth and basically what you wear. First of all, being goth has nothing to do with what you wear as such. You have gothic fashion, and lots of people that are consider themselves to be goth likes to wear gothic fashion. But yes, you can adjust gothic fashion to be quite conservative. If you feel that the right thing to do as a Gorean free woman is to dress very conservatively. Now, for me, like I have explained before, for me, I feel that the difference between how a slave dresses and how a free woman dresses is that a slave dresses to please her master and to please other men. She dresses to please others. So if she shows off skin, it's because her master wants to look at her. It's basically her, she dresses to please others. While a free woman dresses to please herself. I dress the way that I do, not because my free companion likes it that much. In fact, he doesn't. He is a very naturalist on that area. He doesn't like a lot of jewelry. I mean, I walk around like a fucking Christmas tree. I have thingies everywhere. He isn't a big fan of that. He likes it very simple, very classy. So it's definitely not the style that suits him the most. But I dress this way because it's what makes me feel pretty. It's what makes me feel good, and a way that I feel that I um, can show in the way I dress who I am. It's a way to communicate. And as such, I feel that this is the right thing for a free woman to do, to dress according to what she wants herself. And whatever that is, being extremely conservative and covering up most of your skin or showing a bit here and there, that's up to her. And the same with things like, for example, a lot of people have asked about the chokers I very often wear. Because it's a very simple way to goth up an outfit. Just wear a plain black t-shirt, have some funky earrings, and a spiked choker. It looks good. I like it. And also that I'm fat, but I have a fairly long, thin neck. So wearing things close to my neck is flattering. But a lot of people see that, oh, but a free woman shouldn't wear a collar. But here's the thing, to me it is not a collar. I have been a slave, I've worn a collar, but that is something else. It's the same as I wear lots of rings. These are rings. We have rings everywhere. But they're not my wedding ring. This is my wedding ring. Wear it on my thumb today because I wanted to wear another ring on my ring finger, but let you have a look at it. I wear this wedding ring, and while it is not basically your typical wedding ring, it's silver, it's an Ouroboros. But that's the ring that my husband and free companion put on my finger when we married. And I usually always wear this on one finger or another, while I don't always wear it on the traditional one. When I undress for the day, I will put it back on that finger. But anyway, point is, all of these are rings, but they're not my wedding ring. Same way, to me, a color is something special. It is something that is a symbol of ownership between a master and his slave. This is symbol of jack shit. It's a pretty bobo I wear to because I think it looks cool. So to me, that is not a color. And the same with earrings. Why do you wear earrings? Free women in the books don't wear earrings. Yeah, like I've said, that has to do with culture. We do not live on Gore. On Gore, you have the thing that most women on Earth wear earrings. It's in the West, it's like 95%, I think, last time I checked, of women over a certain age. And I think that was over 12, I think. But I'm not completely sure, so don't quote me on those numbers. Has pierced ears. But in Gore, it's something that only slaves do. And as such, since most women from Earth on Gore are slaves, it becomes a symbol of that. It would be the same as if you look at Roman history, there's lots of things that mostly people from the various cultures that Romans tend to get slave from had as typical things they wore became associated with slavery because it's part of those cultures. We don't have that. Therefore, it isn't simple of anything. I have pierced ears because I like to hang shit from them. It's simple as that. So that is why I wear these things while I am a free woman. Of course, not everybody will agree with this, and that is completely fine. And part of being a Gorean is to take responsibility for what you do. Meaning that while I do prefer if somebody is going to approach somebody they know is Gorean, but don't know them, to assume that they are free. Because it's always better to assume somebody has a higher rank than you think they might have. Because then at worst, someone says, no, I'm not free, I'm a slave. When somebody contacts me for the first time and says, hi, little one, I get a little urge to strangle them, just a little bit. But I can't really get up in arms over it because of the things I wear. Because it's not the typical way a free woman will dress. So I have basically the way I see it, a free woman dress for herself, and I dress for myself. I do not dress to please a man. I do not dress to please my companion. I do not dress to please anyone. I dress to please myself because I am free to do so. But like I said, when I have, for example, pictures up and I wear something like that, I have to expect to get some questions about it. Most, though, accept it when I explain, no, I'm a goth. We like to have spiky things everywhere. That is usually accepted. Though, of course, there are some people that just can't accept anything, and if it's not gory in exactly the same way that they prefer, they go ballistic. But what can you do? But like I said, if you want to be Gorean and Goth, there are very many ways to do that that doesn't have any conflict with it. So if you, for example, want to dress conservatively, drop the spiked chokers. Find a style like Victorian, corporate Goth, or basically just nice and classy casual Goth, but just do it conservatively, not a problem. But I also feel that part of the concept of making the Gorean books into a lifestyle is look at the philosophy there, not trying to imitate what they do in the books, because very often in the books they don't live by the philosophy because there are characters that are fallible, and as such they do things that would actually be wrong according to that philosophy. For example, it's the philosophy raises how good a meritocracy is. And I'm very much in support of having a meritocracy. But at the same time, most cities there would not put a low caste in charge, no matter how skilled he or she is, because they believe that it will bring bad fortune if a low caste gains power. That is actually against that philosophy. It steps on it. So you have to read the books, and you have to read them in conjuncture with things like Nietzsche, Ayn Rand, the histories and ideals of the ancient world, these various things that inspired John Norman to get a grasp on the philosophy and not just try to imitate the books. But that's, like I said, my take on it. So, can you be Goth and a Gorean free woman? Yeah, absolutely. But if you choose to do it the way I do and dress the way I do expect to get some questions about it. And do expect that if you wear a spike choker, people will think it's a color until they get put straight on that. And there are some people that will never accept that you dress in a way that they can't imagine a free woman dressing. So, yeah. Would I wear this if I were fair on Gore? No, I wouldn't, because it would get me arrested. Would I still be goth? Well, if I'd grown, yeah, probably I would, because I was goth long before I even heard about these lifestyles. So I would be one morbid bitch and run around in long black robes with skulls everywhere. Irritate my family. But would I be wearing this? No. But looking out my window, I see no thorns. And last time I counted one moon. So until I look out and count 3 moons, and it's not because my odd eye have suddenly gone worse and I am seeing double and triple. And until that happens, I'm going to continue dressing the way I damn well please. And even if I were on guard, I would probably continue to dress the way I damn well please. I would just add a bit of wailing just to avoid being arrested, because that's no fun. So yeah, I would say that it's perfectly, the way I look at the Gorean lifestyle, it works perfectly well to be a goth and being Gorean, because to me, the point of being goth is you have a darker view of life, a darker and often quite romantic view of life, often longing for something more, something deeper, something more magical. And in addition, you do what you damn well please and you take responsibility for what you do. And that's exactly the same concept that you'll find in the Gorean lifestyles. It works, for me, it works perfectly together. But like I said, if you choose to wear something like I'm wearing today, don't be insulted if somebody assumes you're a slave. Just tell them, no, I'm a free woman, and leave it at that. So yeah, that is my video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If there's any questions, don't hesitate to post them. Have a great day, and blessed be.